My basic setup consists of some very simple tools. Some oven mitts that my wife won't mind me damaging. 70% isopropyl rubbing alcohol without any food dye. A basic straight cylindrical vase that will fit a bottle. To protect my surface, I use a simple cork pad. You can get these at any kind of home goods store. And also finally a razor. As you can see, this is a basic utility razor that can be purchased at any kind of hardware store. And finally, some paper. Now, because for the most part I don't save my labels, I just need them flat to be scanned, I use regular printer paper. I use a rubbing alcohol to keep my razor clean. So, using my utility razor, I take a small corner of the label off. I come in at a very acute angle and just wedge the razor slowly under. Now, if the razor sticks to the back of the label, it's going to be one of those tacky labels that will do well with heat. You can even see that you get some resistance when you're pulling it off. By comparison, the water-soluble labels, when you go under the label with your razor, you feel almost like a hard crunching resistance, and most importantly, the razor does not stick to the back of the label. It's a dry glue, and this will only be amenable to soaking. Okay, so now that the bottle's ready, you need to make sure you have a good grip on it and you're using a good heat pad. Using your utility razor, slice under the label very gently, very carefully. When you hear the expression like a hot knife through butter, this is how this should be going. As you can see, this label is coming off very easily. I can gently peel it off. With dark black labels, you don't want to be rushing this because it creates creases and damages those labels. Apply it. Now, some two-part labels require another pass, but you can do this just as successfully. You can see that the label comes right off, and a gentle tug comes right off. And now that I have the second part of the label, I can put it right above the first part. You can get as creative as you want, but as you can see, this is a very simple process. So for the soak method, I use my cylindrical vase and hot water. Sometimes I'll add a very tiny drop of soap into the water, and I'll start rolling with the hot water. As the vase starts filling up, I insert the bottle and just let the water fill up the bottle and the vase. Simply enough. Don't do this in your good clothes. And now just fill up the vase. The soap seems to loosen up some of these glues, but you have to use it sparingly. It's been a few hours and this label is being quite stubborn, so what I'm going to do is try to peel it off with the razor very carefully, and we'll see how much luck I have with that. So once again, I'm going to use my utility razor and just wedge it under the paper and very carefully try to separate the glass from the paper. This is going to be a very slow process, and one of the risks is that the label will get creased. It's very hard to avoid this. Some people like to use a repeated sort of a jabbing, stabbing motion. Some like to go in a line. Well,